I had some fabric left over from my latest sewing project and decided to recreate this viral scrunchie. So let's get into it because it's super easy. The first thing you want to do is take some scrap fabric and fold it in half. And then you want to take the circumference of your ponytail and measure out the length and then a little bit extra to make it extra scrunchy. Then you draw this kind of squiggle wave pattern. And if you're more precise, you might want to draw a pattern for this, but I just freehanded it because I'm quirky like that. Once you have your pattern done, it should look something like this. And now it's time to snip, snip, and snip away. I guess I didn't want to use a rotary cutter, so here I'm using some scissors. Make sure to take your time with this. Clearly I'm no scissor expert, so it's taken me quite a minute. When you're done, you should have something that looks a little bit like this, and the next thing that you're going to do is feed it through the elastic and make sure that the fabric is right side up when you're feeding it through. It's a bit hard to show, but this is kind of what it looks like when you're feeding it. Make sure to pin as you go too. Okay, people, we're so close. So we're just going to keep pinning forever. Clearly, I used 1,000 pins until you have something that looks a little bit like this. And now we're going to bring that over to the sewing machine. But first, remember to leave a little hole so that you can feed the fabric through itself. I'll show you that later. Okay, now we're going to sew, and take it slow too because it's a little bit hard with the curves. After sewing comes the little tricky part, which is feeding the fabric through itself, which you have to do also kind of gently because you don't want to break any of the stitches. But yeah, just take a little bit of time to feed it through. It's kind of hard to show too, but I think you get the point. Okay, now you should have something that looks like a deflated star, and this is where the fun part comes in, the filling. So I'm going to take the rest of my scrap fabric and cut it into yummy little bite-sized pieces like this. Now you can see me putting that all into the scrunchie, and I'm just going to basically repeat this process until the scrunchie is filled up enough and as plump as I want it to be, and it should look something like this. How cute. Now we need to sew up that final seam that we left open. I just hand sewed because it was easier for me than putting it through the machine, and we are done. Here is our final scrunchie. It's the cutest thing I've ever made, and it looks good with every outfit. Enjoy. I hope you make it, and if you do, let me know.